All right, hey, hi, and hello, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you're doing well. And I'm here to complain a little bit. Yes, I am here to complain because I am looking at a full week of reviews, really more than a full week in front of me at the moment. I am looking forward to digging my teeth into the newest album from Black Star, which is a hip-hop duo that I had a lot of passion for when I was in college. Features Talib Kweli, Yassine Bey, formerly known as Mos Def. I think, Black on Both Sides. There's numerous records in Bey's discography that I think are classic and wonderful and worth your time, worth your attention. Please dive in if you have a chance. But yes, this one-off album that these two MCs put together back in the day under the name Black Star, I think is one of the best, hip-hop records of that decade. Part of me was always hoping that there would be a follow-up at some point, and 24 years later, we finally have it, and I haven't listened to it yet because I was, readying up to go dig in with a few listening sessions on it, and I found that the album is quite exclusive to a single platform, a podcast platform named Luminary. Yeah, if you want to hear this thing, or if I want to hear this thing, I have to go to this Luminary site, this Luminary podcast site, and sign up for a subscription in order to hear this album. Now, look, I'm not trying to shame musicians for making a buck here or jump down anybody's throat who is trying to circumvent or work outside of the very predatory and nasty and frankly destructive space, really a slaughterhouse of sorts that music streaming services across the board have kind of collectively built together. In fact, I think it is necessary for fans and artists to try to come together to counteract that system. And if you're an independent artist trying to buck that, all the more power to you. If you're a mainstream artist and you have some wiggle room to do that as well, that's amazing too. But this decision isn't as against the grain as it seems on the surface. To me, it kind of reads just like a cheap attempt to get a bunch of people to file into a podcast streaming service that Talib Kweli already has affiliations with his People's Party podcast. So I imagine what's going on here is there's, kind of like a package deal going on at the moment. We have the People's Party, and Talib has connections with Luminary. And also we are going to use this platform to release our album as well. So make sure you buy those subscriptions. It just kind of seems like we're making things more inconvenient for music fans for absolutely no reason whatsoever, or we are hoping that the only people that have access to this album are just hardcore Talib Kweli fans who are a lot less likely to be overly critical of the record. What's going on here has already been experimented with in terms of the biggest music streaming platforms out there, who's going to get this exclusive or this artist first or that artist first. And the best thing for music across the board and artists across the board, as it has been shown, is to give fans actual access. Exclusivity sort of snuffs out the fire and the fervor and the hype of what you're putting out, even if it is good. And again, I could get into exclusivity if it enhances the fan experience in some way or bucks the current system, but pushing people to hop on to a paid podcasting service to listen to your album, you might as well just be exclusively doing physical copies of this thing at that point. And frankly, I would much rather pay 10 times what Luminary is asking me for a physical fucking copy of this record than to sign up for this goddamn thing that I'm going to forget I'm subscribed to for the next 3 months and continue paying the fucking fee. But yeah, how silly. How much of a pain in the ass. Totally unnecessary. Totally silly. And it's a shame that the follow-up needed to arrive to us in this way, in this form. Frankly, it just kind of cheapens the whole experience. But I do plan on getting my hands on it and listening to it as soon as possible. But just thought I would come on here and say that generally, I think the release and rollout for this thing is kind of ridiculous. And look, I can think of past examples where an artist has kind of sidestepped that whole streaming thing, at least for a bit, to kind of make some real money off of a project that they dropped and put a lot of work into. I could think of Rock Marciano selling copies of his stuff before it hit streaming, Nipsey Hussle with his $100 mixtape that legend has it he sold 1,000 copies of. Yeah, if these things are in any way comparable, what Black Star is doing here is most definitely the least cool and interesting version of that. And I think I can leave it at that. Leave your comments, leave your thoughts down in the comments section. You're the best. Love ya. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, Black Star, first album in 24 goddamn years of forever.